NNPC Limited assures labor unions that Port Harcourt refinery is producing at 70% capacity. Federal government signs agreement with Qatar to enhance Nigeria's healthcare ecosystem. Nigeria Police Force rescues kidnapped victims in Katsina and Akwa Ibom states. Hello and welcome. This is the News Desk at 3 on Nta News24. We are live in Abuja. I am Stella Inamiti. Executive Vice President, Downstream NNPC Limited, Ishaku Abdullahi, has again reaffirmed to NLC and TUC that the Port Harcourt refinery has been producing refined products, including diesel and kerosene, operating at approximately 70% capacity since 26 November when it was restreamed. Ishaku Abdullahi added that as critical representatives of the people, it is essential to take the Nigeria Labour Congress to site to see firsthand how the plant is up and running and trucking out of products on daily basis. He said Pengerson and Nupeng have been part of the entire process. Joe Ajero, NLC president, applauded the efforts.
That the plant is up and running as we speak since the last time, about 2 weeks that it has started. That is a farm, that is a truth. These folks here are doing a great job, and we keep track on them, bumper to bumper, telling them that you guys, you must get to the finishing line. Products are being taken and moved to tanks. Then, at the other end, our day tanks there with our products, we ensure that they are loaded out.
You can see that it is working. And now will be more confident to say that we can move around. The capacity is working now. It is going to work tomorrow and next tomorrow. And still part of the process. Because we quite understand that as a part of the engineering process, it is not magic and not miracle as we say in the light.
Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Ali Pati, met with his Qatari counterpart, Minister of Public Health Mansour Al-Mahmoud, and agreed to a bilateral framework for an agreement to enhance Nigeria's healthcare ecosystem. The coordinating minister held the critical meeting alongside other engagements with the multi-billion-dollar Qatar Fund for Development and Qatar Charities on the sidelines of the Doha Forum in Doha, Qatar on Sunday.
To collaborate in terms of medical outreaches and considering the expansion of the Vulnerable Groups Fund so that we protect our mothers from obstetric complications, cesarean section and the affordability of that, consistent with the policy direction of our government to make sure that women do not die because they cannot afford the critical services that they need. We also had very rich discussion with the Minister of Public Health of the State of Qatar to explore collaboration in the human resource arena. In January, we will have Nigerian professionals visiting Qatar to look at the Qatar Rehabilitation Institute, what we can learn, because there's a lot that we can learn from Qatar. We will also look at their blood transfusion services and how they've organized it, and the emergency medical system in Qatar. Finally, we had a conversation with the Qatar Fund for Development to explore how the Qatar Fund for Development can join us and expand the availability of quality primary healthcare services, immunization, and for external investors to participate in what is emerging to be a story of prosperity.
The Nigeria Police Force says it has successfully rescued 20 kidnapped victims in Katsina State along the Katsina-Magama, Jibia and Funtua-Guso Road. A statement, the Force Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi notes that police operatives from the Katsina State Command intercepted a group of armed bandits who had opened fire on a moving vehicle conveying 10 occupants in an attempt to kidnap the occupants. The police operatives engaged the armed bandits in a gun duel and successfully overpowered them, thereby rescuing the victims unhurt. Similarly, the police operatives attached to the same Katsina State Command got information of an ambush of a vehicle conveying 10 passengers along the Funtua-Guso Road by suspected bandits and quickly mobilized to the scene, where they engaged the bandits in a fierce gun duel, overpowering them and rescuing the 10 abducted victims. In another development, the police operatives attached to the Akwa Ibom State Command also rescued a young lady who had been abducted by a suspect with the intention of selling her off for prostitution in a neighboring country. The suspect has since been arrested and the victim reunited with her family. Again, the police in Akwa Ibom State has also raided a kidnapper's den within the Amayam and Ikot Ukbong villages and successfully rescued 2 kidnapped victims unhurt. Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo has handed over the site for the construction of the Lokoja ultra-modern market at the crusher axis of the state capital to the construction firm SABC Limited. Handing over the site, the Commissioner for Housing and Urban Development, Taye Abanika, accompanied by the Commissioner for Works, Mohammed Ahovi Yusuf, said the new markets is in line with the determination of the governor to urbanize the state and make it more friendly to investment. He said the project, which would be executed on 25 hectares of land, is expected to be completed in 36 months with modern facilities to drive development in the state. The Commissioner for Works, Mohammed Ahovi Yusuf, charged the company to do quality job by adhering strictly to the drawings and specification as contained in the Bill of Quantity, warning that the government will not condone any substandard job. Also speaking on the project, the Kogi State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fanwu, said the project is the last leg of the Lokoja Urban Renewal Project, assuring residents that the administration of Ahmed Usman Ododo is committed to ensuring that Lokoja looks like a 21st century state capital. In continuation of his inspection visits to the National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro Pocket Inputs Distribution Centers across benefiting local government areas in Jigawa State, Governor Umar Namadi has lamented challenges to the program, seeking immediate intervention to ensure food security. Mohamed Musa Askira reports.
Falsification of the beneficiaries list, swapping of the beneficiaries' names, inflating the input prices and inability to deliver the inputs to the centers for distribution to the beneficiaries are some of the challenges Governor Umar Namadi says are inhibiting quick implementation of the National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro Pocket, a program under the Agricultural Transformation Agenda of the federal government targeting wheat production in Jigawa State.
The federal government under the president has subsidized 50%. And now somebody is coming to add another 5,000, 8,000 to the farmers. This is very, very unfair. This is very unfair. It's an effort to sabotage the effort of the Federal Minister of Agriculture and at the same time sabotage the effort of the president. And we will not allow that to happen.
Jigawa State, which cultivated 40,000 hectares of wheat under the same program last year, the governor says is planning to cultivate 120,000 hectares this year, but irregularities in the process of input distribution may jeopardize the plan.
I'm come out today, I'm seeing what is happening. I'm sure my colleagues, if they go out, they will see more than what I'm seeing. So if an agro dealer will be given a contract to supply input to these people, and now for the last 5 days is not here, then it means it's sabotaging this program.
The National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro Pocket Program is running in 19 out of the 27 local government areas with huge potential for wheat cultivation in Jigawa. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
As part of efforts to boost development and address major challenges confronting the local populace in Kebbi State, the governor, Dr. Nasir Idris, is engaging stakeholders across its 21 local government areas. Correspondent Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa reports that the meeting started from Gwandu local government area.
The statewide engagement of stakeholders, which include traditional and religious leaders, as well as party faithfuls from across the 21 local government areas, aims to ensure that the benefit of democracy reach the grassroots level. Governor Idris, alongside Minister of Budget and Economic Planning Abubakar Bagudu, reaffirmed Kebbi State and federal government's commitment to executing meaningful projects across the state.
They also acknowledge that we have done the needful, and we told them by God's grace we will continue to do projects that are having direct bearing to our people.
We are very, very proud of the achievements in the last 1.5 years of the APC administration, both in Kebbi and at the national level.
Some stakeholders praised the state and federal government's effort in addressing insecurity in their areas.
We appeal for the rehabilitation of Natini, Bulma, Makela Road.
Some former governors, APC National Organizing Secretary, senators, and House of Representative members from the state were also in support of the meeting and its agenda. In Birnin Kebbi, Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa, NTA News.
The Ministry of Solid Minerals Development has affirmed that the reappointment of Fatima Shinkafi as the Solid Minerals Development Fund Executive Secretary by President Tinubu is in accordance with the provisions guiding the establishment of the agency. Reacting to the controversy in certain quarters over the reappointment approved by President Bola Tinubu, the ministry asserted that no part of the Solid Minerals Development Fund Act specifies a term limit for chief executive officers of the agency. Statement by Head of Press, Ministry of Solid Minerals Development, Ekuga Chinwe, assures mining stakeholders that the ministry will continue to support the agency to expand access to lines of credit, lead the charge to strengthen partnerships that will unlock financing to drive economic growth, in line with the renewed hope agenda of making solid minerals a significant contributor to the nation's gross domestic product. This is the news desk at 3. Let's take a break. More news when we return. Stay tuned.
The Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, FNIPR, cordially invites Commissioners of Information and Orientation and Strategy, Permanent Secretaries, stakeholders in the information sector, public communication managers, marketing communicators, and the general public to the 48th edition of the National Council on Information and National Orientation, holding in Kaduna City, Kaduna State. The National Council is the highest policy decision body in the sector and is expected to deliberate on the theme, Enhancing Public Information Management for Inclusive Governance. With the renewed hope agenda in focus and make critical decisions, the council meeting is scheduled as follows. Dates: 11th December 2024, arrival. 12th December 2024, technical sessions. 13th December 2024, council meetings. Venue: Hotel 17, number 6 Tafawa Balewa Way, Lafia Road, Kaduna City, Kaduna State. Time: 9 a.m. daily. Mrs. Comfort Ajiboye, Director, Overseeing Office of the Permanent Secretary. Announcer.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Nigerians should be rest assured that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration is committed to delivering on his promises and surmount various challenges facing the country. This was the message of President Tinubu's personal assistant on constituency affairs, Khadijat Omotayo Karim, when Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun State hosted her and her team at a Christmas carol held at Adeleke University in Ede. Karim commended Governor Adeleke for the love and his people-centered approach to governance in the state and urged Nigerians to give and extend love to one another in the spirit of the season.
It is a time to come together with the family, friends, to share the spirit of giving and to remember the value that brings us together.
It's the time to share. It's time to go around and give. And when you are giving, give it with your heart. Don't expect anything in return. That is what you call love. And when you give, you will see what God will do for you. So I thank God Almighty for also watching over us, seeing us through from January till December that we are in now.
The President's aide and her team are in Osun State to engage stakeholders towards energizing the Renewed Hope initiative to cascade the dividends of democracy to the grassroots. Joyful sounds filled the air as pupils of Belmont Institute of Music's converged to celebrate Christ during their 2024 special carol ceremony in Abuja. Adobe Obiechina reports that the carol was an opportunity for the children to showcase their musical gifts.
These pupils and students using their musical gifts and talents in celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ left their parents and lovers of music beaming with pride. Parents and students alike said the passion for music has shaped their minds and promoted their mental well-being.
Oh, so I know how to sing and I know how to play the bass guitar, the violin and the acoustic guitar.
I wanted to be a good musician.
When it comes to skills that children have, you need to harness it, find a way to groom it and make sure that those skills see the light of the day.
For the coordinator, Moses Taiwo, musical mentoring has been a powerful tool for social change. Through music, he said, he has been able to bring out-of-school children back to the classroom and building a healthier society.
One of the reasons why we actually focus more for the past 2 years now on children is the fact that discover that some of them they're roaming about, not doing anything, or they major on playing games. I don't have any issue with playing games and everything, but however, taking the time to develop their musical capacity, their talent is very important and is very good.
The attendees said their performance is an indication of the Institute's commitment to nurturing young talent and fostering love for music, a pointer to a better future for the Nigerian music industry. Adobe Obiechina, NTA News.
Boat accidents in Nigeria's inland waterways are no longer rare occurrences. They have become a heartbreaking reality. Just this past week, the Dambo-Ebuchi section of the River Niger claimed several lives in yet another tragic incident. And just recently, Kukpa community in Kogi State had to deal with similar incident. In this special report, Joseph Otsen takes us on a journey to understand why these mishaps keep happening and what can be done to stop them.
In many parts of the world, waterways are symbols of leisure and adventure. But here in Nigeria, especially for riverine communities, they are much more than that. Canoes and fiber engine boats are links between isolated areas and the rest of the country, a vital lifeline.
Because of this village, it's a big village. They get small village inside this water, plenty, round. All of them now this market and they come every Friday.
Sadly, Instead of being a source of connection and livelihood, these waters are becoming sites of tragedies. Recent data from the Marine Craft Builders Association reveals that over 3,100 boat accidents have been recorded in the last decade. And just in October, on Independence Day, about 150 passengers lost their lives when a boat carrying over 300 people capsized on the Niger River. Fatal incidents have also been reported in states like Lagos, Adamawa, Delta, Zamfara, Gombe, and Kano. Each accident added to the growing death toll and deepened the wounds in affected communities.
I lost members of my family.
Why do these tragedies keep happening? The reasons are clear as they are traveling. Overloading of vessels, often driven by economic pressures. Poor maintenance of boats that are barely seaworthy but continue to operate, putting lives at risk. And lack of safety regulations, including non-use of life jackets that would have saved lives.
The boat users, drivers, we are not doing enough. If there is a serious law that will make them not to carry overload, make them not to travel in the night, I think all these boat mishaps will come to an end.
Concerned by the rising toll of life, President Bola Tinubu directed the National Inland Waterways Authority to investigate and propose solutions. Agencies like HAPADEC and several state governments have distributed safety boats and life jackets to riverine communities.
Each boat comes with 10 life buoys, 2 fire extinguishers, 50 life jackets for adults, and 6 number life jackets for children. And then it is powered by 2 number 40 horsepower engines, which they can use alternately.
But is this enough? Experts say the real challenge lies in enforcement. Regulations mean little if they aren't followed. Both should not leave the shore without basic safety checks. Regular inspection, stiff penalties for non-compliance, and community awareness are all critical. And passengers must prioritize their own safety by demanding life jackets and respecting limits. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
There is the need for a multifaceted approach to get to the root cause of gender-based violence in Nigeria by doing away with negative perspective to cultural, religious, and traditional practices affecting women and the girl child. These were the views of guests on Good Morning Nigeria while discussing Unite to End Gender-Based Violence. Ibrahim Bello Gunda reports.
Speaking on the challenges of gender-based violence in Nigeria despite legal provisions such as VAB law available to protect women and girls, guests on Good Morning Nigeria say perpetrators of gender-based violence hardly get prosecuted due to societal protection, among others. They frown at the role of traditional and religious leaders who view violence against women and girls as a case that should be treated using alternative dispute resolution, which in most cases the victim's family agrees due to the fear of stigma and societal pressure.
And in terms of religion as well, you have negative religious interpretations that impart on the treatment of women differently from men. This also contributes to the extent to which persons suffer gender-based discrimination.
So the society itself is being controlled by matriarchy in this essence. Yeah. And whatever we see today is the product of homes and families, upbringing.
Sensitization of women, girls, and the society on the need to voice out any form of violence against women, girls, and children are treated equally, irrespective of gender, so as to have a society that is fair and free to all to realize their potential.
Don't deprive me of what I merit just because I am a woman. These are the thoughts we need to begin to take to the grassroots. Our fathers should also understand that there is no difference between the girl child and the boy child, because girl children have succeeded in some climes and they can be very valuable.
They agreed that though the 16 days activism against gender-based violence is coming to an end Tuesday, activism is expected to continue to protect the vulnerable while ensuring the law
is allowed to take its course and perpetrators are brought to book to serve as a deterrent to others. In Abuja, Ibrahim Bello Gunda, NTA News.
And that report concludes the News Desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Stella Inamiti.